Been good, folks.
Good times.
Yeah, I don't think...
Cruze?
I've been sitting here thinking about it. I don't think anybody's really taken liberties with me too much.
Other than the jihads, probably nobody.
Well,
Yeah, the
grabbing your
jihads.
dick, but even that wasn't.
Yeah, that
And
wasn't
they
a
didn't
big
really
deal.
try. I mean, you didn't get hurt.
Watching the
trying to-
video, I realized they were trying to hurt me, but it was... I couldn't even realize
You couldn't
it until
tell
they-
because they were
You could
stiff
tell it
anyway.
was a shoot.
They were stiff
it
anyway.
didn't hurt any more than if they were working. So, and to be honest, there's been a lot of times when I've had tag matches with Will, when I've actually seen the other guys being a lot stiffer with Will than they are with me for some reason. And there's a lot of times where Will will come up to me after a match and be like, "They were fucking stiff, weren't they?" And I'd be like,
No.
"No."
I used to get that a lot with Eric. Eric would
Maybe
get
they
beat
were
up.
just the vaginas of the team. Oh, I don't know.
Well,
Eric would get beat up more. Well, and the thing with Eric, I think that had to do with the mouth. You know,
Yeah,
Eric,
Eric had the mouth,
Shut
and I
his
think-
mouth off.
and I think Will, it's just his size, and he's just so friendly. It's just kind of inviting.
yeah, he's
Like,
kinda
oh, I
ass.
can
That's what
beat
I
this
heard
guy
today.
up, and it's gonna be fun, you know.
For me, Ron Starr, who used to be a big deal, beat the crap out of me. We had a match in Monroeville, Alabama, where the beginning was pretty normal. You know, I kept giving him a headlock, and he'd pull my hair. I'd jump up, get it back in the headlock. He put me over a little bit at the beginning, but then he's like, "Time to go to school, kid." Back suplexes me, dumps me on my skull. Finished me off with Fujiwara armbar, and I was a skinny kid. You know, I was this big around, beanpole. And he's just bending my arm backwards. And I'm like, yes! Yes! But that was one of my welcome to the business. Turbo Ted beat the crap out of me in a match. And he's it didn't matter if you're a veteran or a green deck, he's stiff as fuck. And can't work a lick.
Yeah, he probably doesn't know it's not.
He probably thinks it's real.
No, he told me and Cameron Frost, Cameron Frost and Booger, that he was a shooter. And I
Don't
was
tell
on,
Booger you're a shooter.
and I was on a
Let's see
tag
that
team
guy
with
shoot.
Booger,
You're like, yeah, shoot on Booger.
and he was like, I'm a shooter, so if you take liberties with me, I'm gonna shoot. And I was like, all right.
Get him, Booger.
And then so we'd go in there, and I'd go in there and give him, a kind of halfway stiff shot, and go tag Booger. Be like, all right, you want to get one back? Get one on him.
Yeah, let's see, try that.
And Rocket was outside. I was not scared of anything that night.
Nope, nope.
God bless the IWC. I made some very powerful friends.
Oh, in my very first match at the Italian American Club, Jackie Whalen, who was TNT, who I saw at the Ultimate Show actually for the first time in a long time. He and a guy named Chuck Wilson, who wrestled as Seymour Payne, ran in and beat the crap out of me and Dwayne. But later, when we wrestled at this minimum security prison, they came in, we had a match, me and Dwayne had a match, and they came in and broke it up to set it for a tag match. They beat the shit out of us with chairs and tire irons. We had visible tire iron marks on our backs where they just beat the fuck out of us. Kind of a welcome to the business. That's one that I remember.
Or they were just holding it up for the convicts.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Uh,
And then we had a decent tag match after that.
Red snagged me one time when I was real green in PWA. It was a tag match, Hellfire Club against Backyard. It was Red and Monty at the time, and the match was fine. But one of those where the partner comes over and hits the guy on the apron.
Mm-hmm.
He caught me real good.
Tatered you.
Yeah, real good.
It happens.
I don't know if he meant to do it because I was green or if he's stiff. I don't think I've ever worked Red other than that.
Okay, getting away from us personally, shoots that you've seen personally at shows. And we already talked about Joey Barrett beating the crap out of that kid.
Yeah, it doesn't get any worse than that.
The Jihads were ordered in on Bat and Wolf that time
I don't remember that.
at Joe's show. That was pretty. That was
It was a
hard to
rough one.
watch.
I got a good one.
Didn't the Jihads have to?
Come on with it.
Didn't one of the
Wait,
Jihads attack a suicidal soldier on orders?
Did they?
I don't remember.
I don't
That's
remember.
why it doesn't work anymore.
There's a couple of good ones I got. And
Farts.
some of them are Armstrongs, apparently.
Let's have that.
Steve.
Okay.
I don't think I've seen too many.
Steve Armstrong. We were wrestling, I mentioned it earlier, a company that I wrestled for called WW 2000, I think. Johnny Reno was this kid who was one of the top people in the company because his mom was the money person, so it's kind of his company. He was wrestling Steve Armstrong. He sends word, this is how I heard it from Steve, I guess. I think it's Steve that told me, I'm not sure. sends word to Steve to the other locker room saying he wants him to submit to this hanging neck breaker. And Steve's like, yeah, tell him if he wants that, he can fight for it, and we'll go ahead and that'll be the finish if he can get it. Meaning, yeah, go ahead and do that, kid.
I dare you.
So, runner goes back, word comes back, oh no, he wants to do whatever he wants, Steve. So Steve comes up with the finish where he knocks him out with some brass knucks. And so the kid gets the brass knucks. It's a horrible match because the kid was green. But he was full of himself because, oh, it's my mom's company or whatever. So he knocks Steve out with the brass knucks. Steve gives this guy a pin over him. And the kid gets up. Woo! He's full of pumped, I guess, full of adrenaline. Starts putting the boots to Steve. Steve completely stops selling. Stands straight up. Puts his finger in the kid's chest. And the kid just goes white. And he's like, because he doesn't know what to do, I guess, because Steve's just quit selling and breaking kayfabe. Walks him to the corner, gives him a couple of what-fors, snatches a front face lock, takes the kid down, and just, I've got it on tape somewhere, and just grinds the kid. Oh, that was a good one.
Yeah, I've
I
seen
wish I
it.
could have seen that.
There was another,
I've seen
I'll
the
dig
tape
it
of
up
it.
somewhere. Oh, you've seen it?
I've seen the tape. It's pretty...
It goes so fast, but... Right. And then there was another time that it was Brian, Road Dogg, it was Scott and Steve in a six-man against these guys that I used to call them the Armstrong beat-up boys because they'd always work the Armstrongs. But somebody, I don't know who it was, apparently it was one of the kids of somebody on the ring crew or something, but they didn't know that, runs in the ring and they thought he was a mark. And I can't remember who took him down, but Brian is just blasting this fucking guy with kicks. I mean, kicking the fuck out of him. And then later the cops came. And they were like, I don't remember who told me, but I guess it was whoever was running the show. I can't remember, but they were like, hey, didn't you tape tonight? And I was like, yeah. He's like, get rid of that fucking tape. So I take the camera and I go out to my car and put it away and put it under some shit. And Brian, the funny thing is Brian's like, the cop's like, does anybody want to press charges? And Brian's like, I want to fucking press charges. That son of a, you know what I mean? And it was so, because he beat the shit out of that guy. That was a good one. I don't think I have that one on tape still, though. Yeah, there's a couple of good ones.
Yeah, if you're a fan, don't ever jump in a ring.
Don't jump in a ring,
idea
especially if there's an Armstrong in there.
Any one of them.
If it's a too quick Corey Jackson match, you might be all right jumping.
You
in
can
the
probably
ring,
take them both, but if Joey Barrett and Death Row,
Frog Lane will take you down.
You might want to stay away.
Yeah, hide. Don't even sit in the crowd.
Yeah.
Honestly, because they'll kill you.
Anything you've seen live where
I haven't really seen too much
chicanery,
shit going down, as they say.
Well, I say we wrap it up with that.
All right.
Good.
All right, so this has been a...
Never see the internet footage.
Yeah, this has been a fucking Wild West, shoot 'em out, fucking...
Mark my words, Jerry.
Topics everywhere.
Best one yet, and maybe the best one we ever do right here. I'm calling it.
I'm going to put it up. Fuck it.
Put it all up, baby. They will thank you.
And we will see you next time. Invasion Productions, we don't follow the fucking rules.
Oh, I'm not.